All right, my English teacher friends, Kristian Kuhn coming at you again, affectionately known as the Bob Ross of composition. And I got a quick little exercise for you out of my unit that I do with my on-level juniors called Real World Literacy. And I think this could work for, any on-level class, and it's even a good exercise for AP students. I always contend that school should be a microcosm of the real world. But as we know, oftentimes our content is a little disconnected at times. So here's what we're going to do for this. And I'll explain the impetus behind it. I had a student come to me the other day with a text that he was crafting. And he drove by Wendy's restaurant this past weekend, and they had a bill or a sign out in front of the store outside of the restaurant that looked just like this. Calling all high school students looking for summer work, text 678-912. And he shared with me his text, and I was like, oh, buddy, you can't send that. Like, you got to be a little bit more articulate and compositionally solid and polished if you have any hopes to be called for an interview or offered a job. So my light bulb illumined, and I said, how many of my students actually could do this successfully? And it occurred to me, we're in trouble. Like, this is something that needs to be taught. So let me go through this and explain the whole exercise for you. In brief, I also have a number of students that often say this: why do I need to learn this stuff? When am I ever going to use this in my life? And that comes on the heel of reading The Crucible and reading The Great Gatsby. I didn't have too many engaged students. That's just the nature of my district. And I think this definitely connects what we're doing in class in terms of the skill sets. And, just the compositional basics are absolutely applicable, but sometimes our kids don't see it. So here's the rhetorical situation that I've crafted for students. It says this: at present, you are pounding the pavement looking for summer employment opportunities. You come upon the following signage and are intrigued. Carefully craft a text to express your interest. So what I'm doing is I'm going to have the students send me an email, in the vein of a text. And what I'm going to do is take the top 5. So my class size is, I got like 22, 24, 26 for my on-level juniors. And I'm going to take the top 5 anonymously and share them with the class just to really solidify and shore up how to do this. And as a prize, I have a box of candy in my room, and I fill it with M&Ms and Snickers and things of that nature. The top 5 kids can take from the candy box just to incentivize it. And what I am doing is usually I Bob Ross my instruction and I show kids how to do it, but I really think it's important, at least with my kids, to show them that, one, everything we do is connected, to where they're going to go once they leave the hallowed halls of my high school. And then 2, like, everything's relevant. Everything has purpose. And I think going at it blind is going to be very eye-opening for many of them, that they don't have the basic literacies that they're going to need to be successful in the real world. But for teachers that want to model it, first, I have a good one and a bad one. And this is a good one. I wrote it, made up the name at the end, but it's a good little model or exemplar to show them how to craft these. So it says, good afternoon. I'm writing to inquire about your current job vacancies. At present, I'm entering my senior year of high school and am available to work either second or third shift. And with rare exception, my weekends are typically free. Once the school year begins, I can maintain the same schedule given that I will not be playing sports or committing my time to clubs and other extracurricular activities. Over the past 14 months, I've worked in a similar role. I would very much like to discuss your needs and my talents further. Sincerely, Samantha Velez. So no, everything's proper. Everything's punctuated properly. It's articulate. It sounds professional. It presents well. And I talk to my students all the time about ethos in writing. And you kind of got to come off polished like this when you're inquiring about a job. In contrast to this: hi, I'm looking for a job. Only for the summer, though, because I got to go back to school. thanks. So I tell my students in this, you don't want to do text abbreviations. You got to punctuate correctly. The sample that the student shared with me, he was making random words proper nouns. There was no punctuation in it. It was one block paragraph, tons of text lingo and abbreviations. And I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. So that is the quick rundown of this exercise. I think it's very useful, very pragmatic. If you have any questions or want to reach out to me, you can drop me an email at teachingwritingcoach@gmail.com. Also note that I have a webpage, www.teachinghowtowrite.com. I'm offering a slew of PDs over the next coming months. So I am a lead teacher for the National Writing Project, do some work with NCTE, College Board, Applied Practice, Perfection Learning. So if you want to work with me, or see some of the PDs or webinars that I'm offering, just hop over to www.teachinghowtowrite.com and perhaps we can work together. Take care for now.